meteorologist Chase Jones.
All right, so during the break, as we wait for some of this rain to make its way in, we're talking about how hot some salsas can be out here. Now, I have a very low tolerance, so it stops about HEB mild. But I promise you, once it starts to change a certain shade of orange, you know it's dangerous out there. And they're telling me there's some pretty hot Korean food out there. Trust me, I can't even do that either. I was raised in Wyoming. Now, temperatures over the last 24 hours in those upper 50s all the way into those lower 80s. Then that cloud cover starts to make its way in, and we're trapping a lot of heat somewhere in those upper 60s. We're only going to drop about 8 more degrees before some of that rain makes its way in. If I just say it enough, will it show up? 68 in San Angelo. Everybody else in a healthy combination of those upper to mid 60s across the entire area. It was a beautiful day today, feeling like the beach. 71 in Ballinger, 64 down there in Junction, 7 degrees across the entire Concho Valley. But take a good look at these dew points. Humidity indices are in those 50s up into those 60s, while humidity indices are in those 90s all the way down into those 60s, but not a drop of rain anywhere. Trust me, the radar is not even showing anything on as far as precipitation. Now, cutoff lows as far as the upper level pattern are concerned are going to push through some of that rain, and that's probably why we're seeing a little bit of difficulty, because it is a timing issue when it wants to decide it moves into the area. But by next week, another cutoff low will make its way across the entire state of Texas, and that cold front will be the entire size of the United States. What does that mean? Some pretty strong weather is on its way in, so let's just be severe weather ready now so we're ready later. Now, atmospheric moisture is showing us where the shades of blue are trying to fight their way in, and right behind it by the weekend, things push out of the area just in time for kickoff, but I promise you it's going to quickly return. Now, temperatures are showing us where the shades of green are hovering around. That's what we want for severe weather when we're talking about it fighting with some cooler weather from the north and that warm weather from the Gulf, and we find ourselves right in the middle of it, but always on the tail end of those cold fronts. Now, severe weather outlook is still targeting parts of Kentucky, and it's been going strong all day. Gage, thank you for some good shots of chasing that weather, but not a whole lot of tornadoes out there down at the surface, watching those severe weather sort of advisories expire. But this is the ginormous wave of moisture I have my eye on. Take a good look at the size of that cutoff low hovering around parts of Southern California. That's the one I'm waiting on as it pushes more moisture up and around the Rocky Mountains. Now, here comes the future cast. Take a good look, because by tomorrow, that's where I'm expecting some of that rain to make its way in from the south. Now, we're going to keep our eyes pointed to the south, because as we get closer towards Wednesday evening, it will pick up in intensity and make its way through. So I'm on the lookout for some heavier rain as we make our way closer towards Thursday. Now, by the time we get to about Thursday in the middle of the day, around lunchtime and the afternoon, a quick moving storm is going to make its way through, but it has severely decreased in intensity from about KSAN News at 6. So by tomorrow, we'll see how much rain actually wants to show up. Tonight, all the way back down into those lower 60s, but I am looking for the low cloud cover and the rain. The same thing goes for tomorrow morning, but you saw the futurecast, so it's on its way again. Let's just be severe weather ready, because you know those roads like to fill up quickly, and we have to make sure those first responders can get to and from those emergencies, because we only have about 8 days to go until Thanksgiving, and we want to make sure everybody gets there safely. Now, we're holding on to this rain well into the weekend, and that includes the last week of November, where we're still seeing a lot of these cooler temperatures in those lower 70s, if not those upper 60s, while we see those overnight lows drop into those mid 40s. Stay tuned. I'll go up to the break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.